Good morning, Southern California outdoor adventurers. Welcome to Radio Outdoor Expeditions. From Joshua Tree to Dutch Harbor, from the Canadian wilderness to the Amazon jungle. Buckle up because it's going to be wall-to-wall action on Ronnie Kovach's Radio Outdoor Expedition.
Radio Outdoor Expeditions is brought to you by Owner Hooks, P-Line, Flambeau Outdoors, Alaska Airlines, and Sport Chalet. Go out there and hunt down a duck, to catch a fish, and to eat it. That's the ultimate organic experience as far as I'm concerned. We believe we're all God's stewards to take care of this planet. It's very important, and that includes all of its fishes, fowl, and game. And we feel ultimately that going into the wilderness, whether on land or on sea, allows you to recreate. You take a look at that word, and it means to recreate. That's right, to recreate who you are as a divine presence on this planet. We've got an outstanding show for you today. Lots of prizes, lots of information. And joining me, of course, is my longtime co-host, Sergio Fainsztein from the Owner Hooks Fishing School. Sergio, good morning.
Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, everybody. And listen, I'm really happy they came to a budget agreement, so our troops are taken care of and our veterans as well.
Well, that was nice to say.
Well, you know what? I mean, just think about it. We take these kids, we put them in a war that they didn't ask for. The president, all of Congress would have gotten paid with a shutdown, but these kids would have not, and neither would our veterans, and that's just not right. So thank God they came to the 11th hour agreement, and we can move forward.
Well, speaking of that, and we'll get to our other two guests here shortly, I just want to thank everybody that came out last week for our umpteenth fundraiser that we do for the Fishing for Freedom Foundation, which is an offshoot of the Wounded Warriors. We had over 100 people show up at the wine club in Santa Ana last week to wine taste for freedom.
Yeah, and we got to give kudos to Carlos Quintana for hosting this event. It was great, unbelievable. We got lots of money for our troops. It just couldn't have gone any better.
Right, and what we do with the Fishing for Freedom, which is a 501(c), is we take troops coming back from Afghanistan and Iraq fishing, all expenses paid. This last year we took, I think it was close to 40 Navy SEALs and Army Rangers and some of their family members. Sergio was part of the first expedition to La Paz. So we helped them to recreate. And I talked to Carlos Quintana on the phone the other day from the wine club, and he said, Ronnie, he says, we're going to be doing 3 more. We're going to be doing one, you ready for this, during the 4th of July weekend.
Nice.
One during Veterans Day weekend.
Nice.
And then I think we'll also do one towards Christmas and New Year's. Does it get any better than that?
I'm liking it.
So we'll be building that up through the months. And
it's got a great selection of wines, guys.
44 wines for $20, and all the proceeds went to the troops. I want to thank our friends at Sport Chalet also for coming up with some great, great prizes. All right, coming in studio here for the first time is Todd Seborowski. He's the captain of the Moral Hazard charter boat, sport fishing yacht out of Newport Beach. Todd, good morning. Welcome to live radio here.
Good morning, Ronnie. Thanks for having me.
I see that USMC on your looks like your right trigger finger there.
That's correct, Ronnie.
Really?
Yes.
How many years?
A little over 4 years.
All
Served,
right. Booyah.
First Marines.
Wow.
Camp Pendleton.
Wow. And it's to tell Todd Seborowski, the captain of the Moral Hazard, what we've cooked up. But Todd, I think we're going to make Moral Hazard an official Yo-Zuri Excite-a-bite pro staff boat. How's that sound?
Sounds incredible.
Tell our listeners a little bit about the boat.
Well, it's a 32-foot blackfin, all custom, with the latest state-of-the-art electronics, equipment, and it's a fishing machine. It's very comfortable for 4 people. And it runs well. It's fast. And
how fast is it? How many knots?
Cruising speed on that's around 22.
Oh, nice.
22. So that gets you to Clemente in 2.5 hours.
Exactly.
That's nice. That's almost like a 3/4 day trip.
Oh yeah, I can get there in no time, and even in 4-foot slop, we make good timing to Catalina.
Now you grew up fishing with Joe Barry on bongos, right?
Correct. Yeah, he was my mentor and led me.
That's like Sergio. I've been his mentor and his tour mentor.
Yeah, he definitely took me under his wing, and him along with several other captains.
So this is how we want to do it, George. We want to be able to use this boat for a lot of special trips and some testing. We're going to talk a lot about what's going on. But the other night at the Turner store in San Marcos, we're fishing here, the bloodworms, all right? And by the way, largemouth bass will kill those things in fresh water. But there's something about this, that particularly that silhouette at 280 feet. I don't know, when you've been cleaning fish coming up from those kinds of depths, have you ever seen anything like that in their stomachs?
Ronnie, I haven't. I've seen squid to, weird species, but not quite like this.
That's like an alien life form that's down there.
Yeah, no, this is definitely, I think the colors here are perfect. There's another, product we were using with around the same colors, and this is what seems to work best.
Well, the thing is here that in contrast to the other brands out there, number one, George Large from Yo-Zuri and Excite-a-bite. He is a VP, and like I said, arguably one of the most well-known and certainly knowledgeable fishermen I've ever fished with anywhere on the planet. And again, Todd Seborowski, the captain of the Moral Hazard out of Newport Beach, 32-foot sport fishing yacht. Todd, that'd be kind of exciting to be able to take some of the products as George is taking them off the drawing board and these prototypes coming out to test them on Moral Hazard. Wouldn't that be trippy?
That'd be awesome. I look forward to it.
And of course, Sergio, I've been talking for an hour about this Excite-a-bite. Go down to a Turner's right now and get yourself hooked up. I had over 35 fish the other day. I mean, not that I kept them all. I divided up and filled some sacks. Sergio was there on the freelance, 280 feet of water. I was using 4 or 5 different patterns of this, and I love this crazy one. What does that thing look like again there, Captain Todd? It looks like a bloodworm, right?
Absolutely.
What do they call it on the package?
They are called
up there in the corner.
Oh, the bloodworm 6-inch.
Bloodworm 6-inch. The jerk shads, they all work.
Come in quantity of 10, so you definitely get quite a few.
You know what?
They look like they work.
I'm feeling pathetic, Salvador, because you weren't listening. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm
team to get up Main Street, go 10 miles, be on your left.
Hey, George, when you get back out here, we got a lot of stuff for you to do. We're going to take you out on.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm going to need about a month.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, we're going to get you hit Hesperia Lake to fish the sturgeon, all right, and the catfish and the trout. Then we've got you over here on Moral Hazard to hit San Clemente on the bass, all right. Then we got to take you down to Ensenada. And George, you know what they say in Ensenada? Sergio, tell them what the tagline is in Ensenada, the marketing tagline that Pete uses.
Yeah, well, what happens in Ensenada, it really didn't happen.
What happens in Ensenada never happened, George. How do you like that?
It never happened.
All right. Hey, Ed, thanks again. Always great to hear from you, buddy.
No pasa nada.
All right, Ed. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ed.
Boy, Ed. Good stuff. All right, when we come back, I've got to talk to Paul Gaddy from your computer store in Laguna Niguel. Always has some great takes. We've got Finance Mike. It's not too late under these rates and everything to look at, again, a refi, so you got some money to spend on these fishing trips. Also, Finance Mike is doing a lot of work to get the vets with nice VA loans so they can probably buy their first house. That's something that the government and the feds don't tell you about. Well, Finance Mike does. We'll be right back with, again, Todd, Captain Todd from the Moral Hazard out of Newport Beach, and George Large, the Vice President of Yo-Zuri Lures and Excite-a-bite. Sergio,
possible, because that'll be the foundation of a lot of stuff we do from now on.
And I also want to emphasize on our show, April 23rd, Paul Gaddabush is going to essentially co-host the entire 2 hours on the Internet Angler, Sergio.
Right.
And we're going to be feeding all kinds of questions to Gaddy, because I was told by Captain Rick Scott on the Ocean Odyssey, last week. He said, Ronnie, we can no longer fake, okay? Not that he would, because he's a very honorable captain, but he said, we can no longer fake this business. He said the information highway has now created a legion of Internet anglers. He said where there's so much information, not only to the anglers, but the captains and the crews. Todd, you know what we're saying here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We may bring you back on that show, by the way. That might be kind of interesting, Eddie, if you're not running that weekend.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That'd be really, really kind of an interesting show. So, Gaddy, where are you located? Todd, we want to get people to your website real quick here. Give the website address out for Moral Hazard.
It's www.moralhazardcharters.com, and for booking, you can call 714-783-6195.
A soon-to-be Yo-Zuri and Excite-a-bite test boat and pro staff boat.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We're hooking you guys up right after the show. George, Yo-Zuri and Excite-a-bite, give the website address out.
Ronnie, www.yozuri.com and www.excite-a-bite.com. The Yo-Zuri website's up and running. We have some great things going on. And if I could mention quickly, we have a Yo-Zuri trout contest going on this morning.
At Irvine,
in Irvine Lake at 9 a.m., and we're giving out a $10,000 boat and $20,000 in prizes, including Yo-Zuri pins, minnows.
Oh, excellent. They if you're going to Irvine and you're fishing that derby, you better be trolling some sashimis, I'm telling you. George, thanks. I miss you, brother. Can't wait till you get back out. Or give me about at least three weeks, maybe a month to spend with you.
Ronnie, you got it. I'm looking forward to it. And, of course, you're always welcome to Florida to try some of this East Coast fishing as well.
I've been there, and I will, George. All right, love you, brother.
Have
a good weekend.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, George.
Get outside in God's country. I'll see you next week on Radio Outdoor Expeditions.
Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings. Dallas got a soft machine. Houston, too close to New Orleans. New York got the ways and